So here we are at another episode of Varsity House Podcast with your host, Shaun Crawford. We have Isaac Rochell, Allison Rochell, Isaac, member of the Browns, and then Allison, just one of the best content creators on this earth.
What's up?
And so we're here at Goma on East 4th in Cleveland. I mean, beautiful spot, this private room area. Make sure when they open up, you guys definitely check it out. Thank you, Michaela, for hooking this up. So I saw you guys did a podcast for your proposal.
Yep.
Is this the next one that you've done, or have you done some in between?
So I had a podcast with the Chargers for the entire football season. I think it was like 2020, like during COVID and all that. I had a podcast with them. And then we had our own little podcast that we honestly
Super
just
off and on.
Yeah, not professionally produced, but we just kind of podcasted in like our office in our apartment, and it was called Babe in the Braids. And now this is our third one's charm.
Then I cut my hair. That's actually what happened.
Yeah, the name was
braids.
Babe in the Braids, and he shaved off his hair. So
you had to stop the podcast.
It was done.
Was that your way of just getting out of it?
Yeah, it was intentional.
Yeah, it was
over
like
this
I quit.
podcast. Yeah, but we kind of did. I mean, I feel like we still kind of do it off and on, but when we have time.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's more something that I like to do during football season, like keep a regimen, you know.
You know how it is, bro. Like we were just talking about, like you just like with us doing content, it's just like something else. So we're like, we might as well do a podcast to just kind of like give ourselves another layer of content.
Yeah. Have they ever, like, has a coach ever told you like to calm down on the content?
For sure. I had a coach try me. I'm not even
Really?
going to get super specific because I've been on 3 teams since I've been TikTok, and it wasn't the Browns though. I had a coach like make a comment like, maybe if you were off TikTok. And I'm like, I don't know if those two things make sense, but
Right.
yeah. I mean, I feel like the Browns are super chill about it. And like, I feel like since I've started TikToking to now, TikTok has become more prevalent. Like even like you were saying,
Yeah,
like,
true.
you know, you kind of like warm up to it. And so now I think coaches are like, wait, you know, TikTok's more prevalent. You can make money off of it. And like, they're like, they're not going to make it a big deal.
I mean, it's the third part is the biggest, and that's like a fan base. Like getting people engaged, they care more about the Browns. They want to see behind the scenes, and then they're like involved in it. They feel like they're a part of like the journey. And I feel like when it was new, a lot of teams weren't like trying to do that. But now I feel like a lot of teams' social medias are like on TikTok trying to make funny videos.
For sure.
Yeah.
These teams didn't even have TikTok. Like I feel like
Yeah.
when you first started TikToking, like I don't even think the Chargers had a TikTok account.
Yeah.
My friend's mom, her name's Amanda. She follows you on TikTok. Like she knows you from TikTok, and was like, I told her I was doing a podcast with you, and she was so excited. But not even because you play for the Browns, just
For
because
sure.
you're funny on TikTok.
Bro, that's what I try to tell guys, and like you definitely understand it because I wouldn't have been doing it if you weren't doing it. But I tell guys, I'm like, this is free branding. Like you can literally just start branding. You become your own media, and like people don't really care if you're like a star football player. They just like that it like there's a check the box like, oh, he's in the NFL. But past that, you can like kind of like build your own brand. I don't know.
I feel like men though, or just like even me, I feel like even when I started to get in content, it was just like, it's just ick. It's like icky because I don't want to go on there and like post a
Be
video
corny.
of me. Yeah, I don't I don't want to purposely be corny and then just go post it and then like have like the ability of the whole world seeing it. Towards
Yes.
like if I could be corny all day like with my friends and like behind closed doors, but it's just like it was something that I had to get over. But like even now, it's just like when doing a podcast, I'm fine with now. But like if I got like if it's just a camera and me and I'm talking and I gotta like pretend to like have energy or something, it's tough for me.
It's actually like the funniest process. It's also funny because like if you know Isaac in person, like not in front of the screen, and like he's cheesy all the time. Like he's always making these, he's always making these cheesy jokes, and it definitely took him a while to like get used to doing things in person or like in front of the camera versus in person. And it's funny because sometimes I'll pull a prank on him, and I would like won't be recording or something, and I'm like, hey, like I need you to like react to that, like reenact that. And he just is horrible at it. And I'm like, okay, we could never do that. So I'm like, the cheesiness is like definitely you, but you just got to be yourself. I feel like that's a great part of TikTok is like you be yourself, and people like seeing that like raw energy.
I feel like we're so used to the locker room environment though that like how many times do I say, like, I'm not trying to get exposed in the locker room? Boys are like,
yeah, there are certain videos that are like off guard.
Yeah, because I'm like,
can I do your makeup for a video? And he's like, absolutely
yeah,
not.
that's a no-go. That won't go
red
well.
flag.
Yeah.
Like, people are going to be gunning me in the locker room. But that's what I always think about. I'm like, I don't want to go into the locker room and guys are like, you act one way like on TikTok and then you act a different way here. So I always have to be super
That was
cautious.
the thing I was talking to Chase Claypool about, and he was saying like dudes would talk trash to him about doing TikToks and everything, and then like the next play he like blocked the dude all the way out of bounds, like put him on his ass and everything, and like kind of use that as like, oh, you just got like bullied by a TikToker or whatever.
Right.
Does that ever happen to you, or like a or like offensive tackle or running back or somebody talk trash?
I feel like not really.
You said last year people would be on the line and be like, oh, that's that dude from TikTok.
Yeah, bro, the Raiders, bro. I was also, but it's the same thing. Like I was like doing good on PAT block, which is random to be doing good on. But they were like, watch out for 91. That's the dude from TikTok. Like, and like my own teammates were like paused and were kind of looking at me like, what, bro? Like I didn't even realize you were on TikTok. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I feel like Chase, like he definitely has more followers than me, and I feel like at the time he came on super fast, so it was a little bit more noticeable, whereas I feel like Allie and I have just been like sneakily just like grinding on TikTok, and it wasn't this huge like immediate burst. He also had Juju like dancing on logos, which like drew a lot of attention, but for us I think it's been a little bit more low-key, which has been nice.
So Allison, when did this start for you? Like what made you, because when did it come out? You were probably like right when you got out of college, or?
Yeah, I feel like I've always like been in like social media. I just always have like liked producing content, editing, stuff like that.
You've been doing YouTube for a minute.
Yeah. Oh my God, my YouTube is like cringy. I have like videos from when we first started dating. So awkward. But TikTok, during quarantine, I mean, everyone started watching videos during quarantine. So I started making videos, and then I just kind of started doing what I would do on YouTube, like showing my life, and people started saying some stuff like, oh, you're a gold digger, and I'm super sarcastic in person. So I started just like posting videos like, oh my God, like they're like, oh, your last name's Dollar Bill, that's why you like him. And I'm like, my last name's not Dollar Bit, like super sarcastic. And honestly, it just started growing from there. It started off like very like satirical, and I still do satirical content every now and then, but then I like started to show people actually what life looks like, being married to an NFL player and just like my life in general. And it grew pretty quick. I mean, I hit 1 million the first year.
Yeah, well, Allie's sleeping on herself. You were voted most, she's like most likely to become Twitter famous in high school. Like, I feel like you've been grinding for a while. Cause like she said, when we first started dating, bro, she would like pull out the camera. I'm talking, this isn't like 2014. And I'm like,
as it's like put why that are we down.
Vlogging? Cause same thing. Like, I don't feel like having my teammates see this. This is corny.
Yeah.
But like you've been making a push since 2014.
Oh, thank you.
All to lead to this.
Yeah. And then, I feel like once I got more confidence, I was like, oh, like, I don't care about showing people like this side of my life or like being a little bit more cheesy. And then Isaac was like, oh, I want to start. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, literally. I just randomly did like I'm going to lift this up. I randomly did like a NFL nighttime routine. It just blew up. And then I wasn't even going to TikTok. I remember telling you like, man, you can TikTok. I'm just going to kind of like not do this. Then I posted that and I got 40,000 followers in like one night. I woke up, bang, 40,000.
This man passed me one day and I was so salty. I was like, this man just jumps on here and thinks he can just surpass me.
Yeah, boy. And then whatever. But then I was like, you know what, I might as well do it. And then she started getting paid, like getting ads and stuff. And then I'm like, okay.
Yeah, then you didn't think it was so dumb anymore.
Yeah.
That's, talk about that part a little bit, to where it's like, you said they have like the creator fund and all that stuff. Because I look at like social media, like Instagram and like Twitter was like, it's hard to get paid. Like, I don't know if Instagram pays people or like they do for the reels, but you need like a stupid amount of views and everything. So how does like TikTok work? So
TikTok, so the creator fund, I'm not sure when it came out, but it's like pennies. It's really not a lot unless you're posting like 5 videos a day and they're getting like well over 500,000 views each. It's like you're not really gonna be able to like support yourself off of that. But things started becoming more like a full-time job when I got a manager or management team back in October, and I just who was it? It was ESPN. They emailed me and they're like, "Hey, we want to do a video. What's your rates?" And I was like, "What?
Like rates?"
I'm like, "You're gonna pay me? Like, I'll do it for free."
Yeah.
And everyone's like, no. Yeah. And so once I got a management company, it just was like, it just showed me that, I mean, being a creator is like definitely a full-time job, from the work aspect and the money aspect.
You also realize these huge creators, like the D'Amelios, bro, they're cashing out. Like, there's no way they're not cashing out. Because, like, I always think, like, these random companies, like, people aren't spending the same amount of money on, like, traditional marketing. Because, like, the eyes aren't there. Obviously, everybody knows that. But, like, so these companies are just throwing money at these creators. It's wild to me.
But also, it's not really throwing money. That's, like, sounds very easy. But, like, if I have a platform that has a lot of viewers and those viewers trust my opinion and I'm always real with them and I'm not like, "Oh, hey, try this vitamin. It's going to make your hair grow 6 inches." Like, I only promote products that I like. It's so much more personal than like a commercial. So all these companies will pay a commercial, but I mean, we only really watch Super Bowl commercials. Aside from that, we're like, "Oh yeah, it's a catchy tune." But if you see your favorite creator and they're like, "I love this skincare routine, like I've been using it the past year," and you just keep promoting it in your videos, people will start to be like, "Oh, I want to try that." So it makes sense from like a company aspect.
I also think we're in like the golden hour of creators. Like, I think right now companies are in the transition period, like we're talking about, of where to put their marketing dollars. And I feel like they don't really know how to approach it. So they're like, we're going to invest heavily in influencers because they have the most eyes on them right now. And so I think it's like really smart for people to take advantage of it, like as these platforms grow, and then will eventually plateau, and these marketing dollars, they're throwing a lot of it, and that will eventually plateau. This is like a really good time for creators.
So what does a day look like for you? So I know you obviously you're talking about mapping out, you're talking about mapping out your like TikToks and, you know, being a content creator and everything. But Isaac, for you, obviously you're in NFL, you play for the Browns. So how do you manage like doing both? And because you post daily, like maybe a couple of times a day. Like, so how do you manage like doing content and then also stepping on the field and like doing what you have to do there?
Yeah, I think the short answer is like I just focus on football when I'm in football, and when I come home, I can like think about other things. But I just like, I don't stress myself out. So if I don't have an idea, I just don't post. But for me, it's just like finding really organic content and easy ways to answer questions or do videos. Like, I'm not going to go super out of the way to spend 2 hours doing a video. Like, if I have an idea and I can take 5 minutes and do the video and post it, then I do that. But it's been really nice because it definitely doesn't spill over into football. Like, I'm able to like go to work and then come home and spend like the 20 to 30 minutes a day doing videos to keep that going. But it's easy. I think where like it could become more difficult is if somebody's making content that's not true to them. Like, I think if you're making content that easily aligns with your life, what you do, like we make a lot of content together, so like our interactions and how we interact, it's all very natural, which makes it easier to just like do a quick video in like 5 to 10 minutes. So
are you just like waiting on him to get home and stuff?
Like, boy, you're home content.
I definitely have like a note on my app on my iPhone that I'm like, okay, these are the videos I need to film with Isaac. Like, I have a funny idea. And honestly, it's just like, sometimes I'll just be like, oh, like, I don't know what to post today. Like, last night we went to the grocery store and I was like, oh wait, I think I have an idea for that. And literally I was just putting baby stuff in his cart, like joking about like, I'm trying to have a baby. Yeah. So it's like stuff like that we're already going to the grocery store, so I'm not going to go out of my way to do that. But it's also funny. It's still us. Like, you get his raw reaction. But I definitely post without him, and then I also post with him, and then I show like our life together.
Yeah, every once in a while you'll text me during the day though and be like, I have a funny video to film when you get home.
I have to prepare him because sometimes he comes home and he's like, I'm so tired. And I'm like,
bro, you know how it
boy,
is.
You already promised.
I saw the video you just posted. It was like the POV dating an athlete or whatever.
The junk is true though.
Was that you like knocking on the door?
Yeah.
Okay.
Doing the girl boys. Yeah, bro, my team. Yeah, like boys were making fun of me like.
But it's funny because that was literally after the Browns game. Like, we came home, we ate dinner, and I was like, oh, I have a funny idea. So it's like, you would never think like an NFL player is coming home and like filming his wife like running around the apartment.
Right. That's actually crazy to think about. I'm just the corny dude. Like, yeah, let's do a video. But it is funny though, because my teammates literally were like, I don't know if you know Johnny Stanton. He's like, I feel like a lot of people know him here, but he was like, bro, like, I already know that you act like that. Like, your wife was just literally impersonating you. She's making fun of me. I'm like, I am dramatic.
Yeah.
I already know.
Easy content, though.
It
Whenever
is.
Isaac is dramatic, it just gives me, like, content. I'm like, thank you.
But she's super good at coming up with ideas. So, like, sometimes you'll have ideas for me. And like I said, it's now easier because, like, we're not trying to build a fan base. So, like, we can do content that's, like, not, like, crazy, but it like engages with the fan base really well, and then like that content will do well.
I was just telling her, I was like, I need a like a TikTok relationship or something.
Yeah. The couple TikToks.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? Because she was mentioning one where she does pranks on her boyfriend or husband or whatever it is, and those do really well. I don't know if it's raw or if that's planned out, but
some you can tell. I feel like you can kind of tell which ones are fake. They're
People don't
super
even
dramatic,
care,
or
it's so crazy. Like, we try to stay away from like the like planned like corny stuff, but it's just crazy. Like, people literally don't care. Like, that's just the world we live in, where it's like these people who watch these fake pranks and still engage with it.
but
I'm like,
sometimes
this
it's
is
like kind of
corny. It's corny.
entertaining. Like,
no, I watch it just to be like question myself if it's fake or not. Like, I'm watching it, figuring it out. Like, is it real? Is it fake?
You're like, I
Yeah.
don't watch this 10 times now, like helping these folks out, and I know this is fake. But
so you mentioned like obviously the first game in Cleveland. How'd that go? Like, how's Cleveland been for the both of you, coming from you were in Indianapolis last year, but coming from the Chargers where you spent 4 years there.
4 years,
And
which is crazy.
so coming from California to back to the Midwest to Indianapolis and then out of Cleveland, how's that been for you both?
Why don't you start? As the wife just getting tossed around from city to city.
yeah, I feel like moving in general is not really easy, and then moving in the NFL is also not easy because like it's never guaranteed. Like, we could be gone in a month. I mean, always knock on wood, but I'm saying like it's just never. I mean, it's just never for sure. So I feel like that also adds stress to it. But as for Cleveland, like I love the Charger fans. I got to say that, but I think in the Midwest, like football is so much fun. And so the jump from the Chargers fan base to Indianapolis was huge. And like all of these people, oh my God, I love the Colts. I've been like rooting for them. Like my family loves them, blah, blah, blah. And then even going to the Browns, like the Browns has, I think, the highest like stadium
attendance
rate. Yeah.
Or something?
Mm-hmm. It's
like
something,
the entire league,
it's crazy. And so, I mean, today I went and got a facial and the girl was like, oh my God, I've been following you since you were at the Chargers. Like, and it's just so nice because I feel like it's this nice little community behind you. People are like, oh my God, try this restaurant. And I feel like, I mean, us being on TikTok, it's honestly less lonely because I feel like I have this community behind us. I mean, some of the Browns fans were already fans of us on TikTok. So it's been, I mean, I love the Browns community. I love it. And I do like Cleveland. Everyone's like, oh, Cleveland sucks. Like, I feel like it's a running joke in the NFL. You never want to go to Cleveland.
Yeah, I don't get that joke, but
I mean, I love it here.
It is crazy. I mean, we were no doubt super spoiled in LA. Like, you know how it is, bro. It's so nice out there. Mm-hmm. And like, I think in my career, I was like super spoiled because I was there for 4 years. Like, you know how like sketchy the NFL can be. So like, we're chilling. I'm not worried about getting cut. 4 years, great place to live. Mm-hmm. And then like, we just kind of got thrown in the meat grinder, right? Like 3 teams in 3 years.
Yeah, like within 24 hours, we were like, oh shoot, he's not re-signing. Okay. And then 24 hours later, we're like, oh, we're moving to Indiana. Like, okay, this is quick.
And so Indianapolis, like, great organization. City's just not great. Like, we didn't fall in love with Indianapolis, the city, not talking about the fan base. And so like, for us, that was a little weird. And we also we lived 40 minutes from the city. So we were like in a suburb, you know, it felt like South Bend. And
nothing's like South Bend.
Yeah.
That's true.
It was
for better
just
or
kind
for
of like
worse. So it was a little weird. And then like, I think at that time she was growing a lot with her social media. So then I leave Indy, I'm a free agent. her fan base has this huge anticipation for like what city we're going to. Like it was crazy, the engagement. And then it was Cleveland. And then we come here and we're like, okay, the city's tight, like kind of slept on. People from Cleveland like
are cool.
And ride or die that it's slept on. Fan base immediately engaged, loves Allie. They like me. And
loves Allie, likes me.
I already know how it is. I'm okay with that. So it's like there was just like really positive energy coming at Cleveland. And it's been cool, like, you know, where we live and like the little city, like it's a nice little vibe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been here for about 6 days now, but I already love it. I mean,
I feel like we had no expectations coming in, and then we came here and we're like, oh, this is like actually kind of tight.
Mm-hmm.
How'd the signing go? Like, did you have options of where you wanted to go, or is it just like Cleveland was the first team that called? And
so Cleveland was my first and best. And like my agent was talking to other teams, but like I went to Indy, and I signed like a decent little deal, nothing crazy, but a nice little deal, and I just really didn't play that much. Like I was inactive, super mad about that. It's a whole nother combo. And so when the season ended, even though like for the snaps that I got, there was a lot of good film, a lot of teams were like, he didn't sign like a minimum deal. Like they gave him a deal. Why didn't he play? So it was a slow free agency. I mean, boys were stressed. Like me and Allie.
Those comments were getting sketchy really quick.
Yeah, people were firing off. I'm like.
In your comments? Mm-hmm. It's funny that they come to you with the comments and not to you.
Yeah, they were ruthless.
Well, we built up, this is like our fault, but like we built up the free agency thing. Like free agency starts in 3 days. And then it was like, okay, like I've been a free agent for a month now. Like, we were like kind of gassing it up. And then there was time where it's like, people are like, okay, boy, you should have been signed.
Like only so many videos to to gas them up, right?
Only so much content, right?
But I also feel like that's another reason why I love TikTok and why TikTok does well. It's like when you think of the NFL, you're like, oh, if like this guy signed a minimum deal, he's clearly not good, or you're thinking all these things and you have this vision of what the NFL is supposed to look like. Like people didn't even know that we had to pay as family members to go to these games. Like
you get what, 2 for free?
Yeah, 2. Mm-hmm. 2 for the free.
Yeah, so it's just I think it was like interesting showing that like he didn't get signed right away, but like he ended up getting signed, and it's like it's not always like cut and dry. Like, oh, free agency day. Oh, a minute later you're signed.
Right.
So.
Yeah. So but to answer your question is like Browns called, and it's so crazy. You fully understand it, but a lot of people don't. It's like, bro, boys are like working out. I'm like Browns call, and I'm like, all right, I'm going, and like within 48 hours, I'm in Cleveland, like Signing process was not gassed up, no camera crews, pictures. It's just like sign and then get to work. But it's like, it's tough for her because it's like, okay, we're chilling in Orange County, and then it's like, okay.
We were actually in Arizona.
We were in Arizona, but we like, whatever, live in Orange County. And then it's like, yep, we're moving to the Midwest, like, and a lot of it falls on the wife and or girlfriend. To kind of get all that stuff organized, but it's just like overnight, bro. Like you don't know where you're gonna be. Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's like one day when your agent is saying like, oh, these few other teams might be interested, like, oh, you could go here, you start like, oh, well, this would be great because it'd be like in this location, and then it's like reality, it's like, oh, actually, you're signing here, you're leaving tomorrow. And I'm like, shit, I'm going to be alone for the next 2 months. I'm not trying to drive all the way to Ohio for 2 months.
That's a tough trip.
And so I'm like, oh, great. And then,
not ideal.
It was.
You just did it, though.
Yeah, I just did it, which would not recommend. But
how many hours was it?
36.
With the dogs and a cat.
2 dogs and a cat.
The cat is the sneaky thing, because you got to pack a litter box.
The litter, though. Yeah, she doesn't do much. Yeah.
Because they don't have to get out and go to the restroom or anything.
She holds it. I would drive. I think the longest day I drove 15 hours. Jeez. And she was trooper.
Grinding.
Yeah, the dogs at the end are just like, get me the fudge out of this car. So.
Did you plan any like stops along the way, or was just kind of like when you felt the need to stop?
It's kind of just like drive until I can't. I was just trying to get here, and because like the game was going to be that next weekend, and I was just ready to like hit a bed that wasn't a hotel bed.
It's just the NFL is so crazy, bro, because, and again, you understand this. there's like so much to plan. Like I would have liked to come out with her, but you're also like, let me get out there.
Yeah.
Let me see what the situation is. Like I don't even know I'm gonna be here, right? Like, and it's like there's just so many variables, and then like again, it's just like, oh, okay, well now that we're doing this, Allie, go ahead and drive 36 hours with our stuff.
Don't say that you were trying to drive with me. You were absolutely not.
I was about it.
Yeah, okay.
Bro,
you can say it now because it's like,
it's already done.
I'm like, I would have been there.
Yeah.
I would have been in there. No, but it's crazy because, again, 3 teams in 3 years. Like, we done driven across the country. When we go back, it'll be our 4th time and really like a 2-year span. But, what are you supposed to do? Right?
Yeah.
Like
playing with the Chargers, you play with Bosa. And then now you come here and you play with Clowney and Miles.
Yeah.
How's that, just the knowledge, how much knowledge have you been able to just gain from players like that at your position?
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because as you get older in the league, like, I'll rewind. When I first got in the league and I'm playing with Joey, when you're young, you're looking at a guy like that and you're like, okay, like, I'm trying to, like, be like Joey. And then as you get older, or like rush like Joey.
Or you had Ingram too.
And Ingram.
Yeah.
And then as you get older, you realize like, all right, these dudes are just like freaks. We all rush different. So like, what can I take from them, right? Like little bitty stuff. But it's been cool. Like I've been super fortunate with the guys that I've played with because those are like, you're talking about a couple
pros.
Yeah, a couple of the best rushers in the NFL. But again, you like learn a lot about like how blessed those guys are and like they work hard and they do all the things off the field that make them great, but they beat everyone at birth. Like they were just born that way. These dudes are beasts. He is good though, and Clowney's a beast too. They're both like freaks of nature.
What are some just some things that you saw quickly, like being on the Browns, like it could be from the offensive standpoint or defensive standpoint, that just like, yo, this team's legit, or like this team, like, because I feel like Cleveland's in the media a lot, and like good and bad, but like the good stuff is highlighting, like everyone expects the Browns to, before it was like Cleveland fans, like high expectations, where it's like, okay, we want to make the playoffs, and then like we had the team last year and it was like, we're going to the Super Bowl, and then like even coming back this year, it's like it's Super Bowl or nothing, like with the Browns.
Super Bowl or bust.
When you got to the team and you saw the talent, like what were some things that like kind of like you saw?
Yeah, I think the first thing was just like going in a facility and being like, thinking about like the Browns for the last 6 years, right? And I'm like, looking at the record for the last 6 years, and it like didn't really make sense to me. And the reason I say that is because you walk in, you see the facility, you see the coaches, you see the players, and it seems like all the pieces are there. And so I guess my first impression and the thing that stood out to me the most is like everything's here and the energy is right. And I know that's like hard to explain, but winning teams have like the right energy, whatever that is, like the vibe and the energy is right to win. And they have that. And so for me now, I'm like a part of that energy and like it feels good and I'm seeing it. But it's just crazy because not every team that I've been on from year to year has had that. And it's like I feel like you can tell immediately. I mean, you've seen it, even college, whatever, like, I don't know if this team's it, but this team definitely has the energy.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen Isaac's energy change year to year, team, even like different teammates. And I feel like this year, like his first few days of him even just being here, even during OTAs, he was like, yeah, I'm already hanging out with some of the guys. Like, it's a really cool locker room. Like, I really like this organization. And as a wife, like, that's fun to see and like relieving because, I mean, if he leaves work and he's not happy at work, or not even not happy, but like the energy is weird, or like, I don't know. I feel like it also translates into our life because he's he goes hard during football season. It's like he's a routine-based guy and he has this whole vibe during football season. And then when it's done, he's like, okay, like I can finally take a deep breath. So it's been fun seeing him like connect with the Browns community and like the team and the organization so quickly, and that he loves it.
Yeah, it's so crazy because when she talks about that, I just forget like, because she doesn't have like a formal 9-to-5, she's like at home.
It's like a 24/7.
Making content, whatever. And like her interactions, like with actual people throughout the day are like very minimal, and it's like if the energy is off for me in a facility or the team's energy is off, it like definitely spills over into like our interactions when I get home.
I feel like even last year, I feel like it was just like our first year with a new team, first year in a new city. I didn't know anybody, and like I didn't really put myself out there a ton. I actually made a TikTok about this yesterday, but I struggled a lot because, I mean, he's coming home and he's like frustrated with not playing a lot or even the way he's playing, and that spills into us. And so I'm like wanting to hang out and like enjoy like this small amount of time we get, like 7 to 10 before he goes to sleep.
She's like, boy, we got 3 hours, lock in.
Yeah, and yeah, but it's been fun. I mean, even just location wise, like where we're living now, it's like you start to realize how small those things might be, but how much they impact like your life, like my day to day. Even being walking distance to like a coffee shop, I can interact with somebody, whereas when we lived in a house in Indiana, I never left the house. And so he was the only person I'd interact with. It was just like depressing.
Bro, we were straight like neighborhood life. Like when I say neighborhood, I'm talking like we're coming like 40, like families in their mid 40s with like kids. Not an issue, but for us, we came from like this place called Orange Pacific County. City in Orange County. We're right on the beach. People like, you know, Saturday night you hear music, like people are out and about, to like, boy, there's nothing happening.
Yeah.
It was tough.
You live and you learn.
And like you said, it's little stuff, but that you don't even realize. And then you're like, wait, this is like low key not great. But
so now you're both in Cleveland, obviously, and then you have an Airbnb in AZ.
I got
two.
One's launching in like 2 weeks.
So who runs that operation, and kind of like what made you guys like get into that?
So during quarantine, when Isaac first got drafted to the Chargers, I had a year left of college, and then I got a not really typical, but like a 9 to 5. I was an independent contractor, and I would go to work every day. And I got to the point where he was about to finish his last year. We didn't know if he was going to move around a lot and what that was going to look like. And I was like, okay, like I have this money saved up from working. Like I really want to own an Airbnb. And we didn't own a house at that point. We weren't even engaged at that point, but were we?
No, we weren't.
When we first started talking about it, yeah. And it was everyone's like, oh, tell me like how you like made that decision. It was super risky. Like one night I was like, oh yeah, I want to quit my job and start an Airbnb. And he was like, oh, okay. And talked with a financial advisor, and it was so risky, but that's why I quit my job, and it ended up becoming my full-time job until social media came around. But it's been fun. I mean, from start to finish, until the Airbnb goes up, it's all on me, which has been
it's a grind,
a learning process
for you. Well, a huge piece that Allie left out is like you were driving to LA every day for like, you know, back and forth. You're driving 3 hours a day.
Oh my God, it was terrible.
And you were still trying to do YouTube. And Allie was like, I really want to do YouTube. And I mean, she was like, we're talking about you had like 2,000 subscribers on YouTube. So it wasn't like.
It was like 10,000. Don't.
Oh, I'm
Give me a little bit more than that.
But the point is, she was like, I need like to at this time in my life, I might as well risk it to like try to pursue this. And like without even realizing, from that came TikTok.
I totally even forgot about that. Yeah, the main reason I wanted to do Airbnb is so I could have more flexibility in like following my dream of like doing media and like content. And
we were like, if we can do the Airbnb and have that become like income producing, like a regular job would be, then you can focus X amount of hours a day on YouTube. I was like, I got you. You've got it.
Yeah.
You got it. No, but it's just, it's crazy that, you know, this is like the result of that.
But now I did manage it at first. At first it was literally all me.
It's brutal, bro.
Because I was like, you know, this is my full-time job. Like I need to put this on my back. But once we moved to Indiana, we had, oh my God, a guest throw a party, and it was horrible. The photos are disgusting. And we were just, he came home.
The photos of the actual house or a party?
Airbnb. Well, the remnants of the party.
Okay.
And he came home from practice, and I was freaking out because I was like, I don't have like all of these contacts there. Like I'm going to have to fly there, blah, blah, blah. He ended up flying there actually. But that's the time where we started to look for like a co-host or like a manager to help us out with that process. And that has been like game changer, because I feel like the guest has a better experience, we have a better experience. It's a win-win situation, and so I get to do all the fun stuff like design, and because that's what my degree is in, like graduated from college with interior design. So
yeah, and so then like she's saying, now we have the second one that we're close to finishing, and we'll definitely do more. I mean, we're still trying to figure out like the formula of how to do it like in a most like stress-free manner, which we've totally failed at so far.
Both times, yeah. But I feel like when you're like taking a risk like that, there's never going to be like a perfect formula. But that's the point of it. It's a risk, and then it either pays out or it doesn't. So
we also like, just to like add on a little bit more, we also have always thought about like you have these followers. It's like, how can you like continue to present like products that align with who you are to your followers, like, and not in a way that's like, oh, I'm just trying to make money off
not
these.
like a buy my like,
but more so like
online or sunglasses or something,
like sharing like a product that you've created that you enjoy and love with people that follow you,
right?
And so like Airbnb and like these homes, it's like such an easy thing for us to be like, okay, she's like actually really good at doing interior design. And like now you guys can like stay in a place that would look like what our place looks like.
Yeah.
And like, so it's kind of like, there's kind of like a bigger kind of like thought behind it.
And then I feel like there's also like when all of your worlds combine. So like when the Browns go to the Super Bowl in Arizona, we have an Airbnb there, so I'll get to stay there and I'll have content of it.
That would be crazy.
It's in Arizona this year?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Why'd you guys land on Arizona?
During quarantine, we went there. My brother went to ASU. We went there on like that like you weren't gonna go on an airplane during that time. It was like the beginning of COVID, but we had quarantine, he had quarantine, so we got an Airbnb and we all hung out, and we were paying like,
bro, it was like $300 a night, and I'm doing the math,
and it was like not nice. And I was like, oh my God, if I owned an Airbnb, I'd do all these cool design things. And I was just going into like the thought process, and he being like methodical and like money wise, he was like, okay.
You got two Notre Dame guys here.
Okay.
Like, we do this.
Yeah. So then it kind of came into fruition. And Arizona, I mean, it's close to California, but not California pricing.
Right.
And it was a growing area.
Yeah, bro. It was like, I'm at this house and I'm like, this mortgage can't be more than $1,500, and we're paying $300 a night for, 4 or 5 nights. Mm-hmm. I'm like, we just paid their mortgage. Mm-hmm. And then that's when I was almost frustrated. I'm like, all right, I'm not, like, I'm gonna get my mind right. Yeah, like I'm not doing this again.
Yeah.
So then that's like we just went on like a rampage. Again, she had money saved up, so we were like, let's just like, it kind of all made sense, given the whole story. It was like the perfect storm to do Airbnb.
Yeah, it was risky, but we're here now.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome. But getting into, obviously you went to Notre Dame and Michigan State,
Mm-hmm.
so like looking back on it, I saw you guys had like broke up for the long distance stuff, and just talk about like, I guess that moment to where it's like, I mean, you obviously don't plan on it. Like when you guys met, it was just, I might have been at Notre Dame.
Bro, you were literally.
Dude, was I there the night y'all met?
Yes.
All right. I didn't even get invited to a wedding, but I saw it was a small wedding.
60 people.
She said I counted the guest list. So, I'll let it go.
Yeah. So I saw everyone who was there, and I was like, I could have been that like lucky piece that brought you two together.
You're the only reason we're here.
Pretty much. And
it's actually crazy to think
so
about.
I was visiting Notre Dame that weekend. It was my official visit too.
It was you, Nick Coleman, who else? Just a bunch. They literally gave us all y'all.
Yeah, and it was him and Cole. And so this is my first time going to their house and everything. Love Cole. And then I was giving him the hardest time too about because this is like a hidden secret. It's like when you go on a visit, they give the host like money,
and I was being cheap.
Being so cheap.
Trust me, I saw where he was living.
And so
it made sense.
They gave him, I forget the amount, maybe like $80. Like it wasn't anything. But for me coming out of this is way before NIL. So me coming out of high school, coming up to an official visit, I'm like, I hear he's getting money, and all we did was go to Five Guys. So we got there. So we didn't even go to like Soho or anything. We went to like Five Guys. And so
don't bring up Soho like you knew Soho.
I didn't know Soho, but when I was
happy to have Five Guys.
But the following years, when I brought hosts, we went to Soho.
And you're like,
and because I wanted to look out for him, and I got some good recruits there, but I'm there, and so we get I didn't mind it because it was like, all right, cheap meal. Right. I'm getting the leftovers, $60 or whatever. Nothing. So we get nothing, and then we ended up going to some party or whatever. I don't know where it was, but
Brown. Oh, you're talking about before we went to.
Was that before Five Guys?
So we went Five Guys, and then we went to we went to this
like
random
baseball
party.
house or something.
Yeah, we went somewhere.
Baseball house.
And then we just went to this other house because it was across the street from my house, and that's where Allie was. But we didn't know Allie at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about that interaction. I wasn't there. I probably was off just goofing around, but
looking for more food, maybe,
or money.
You're like anything at that point.
Yeah.
It's actually just mind blowing to me that the night we met, I was hosting Shaun. That's crazy to me. But
I mean, I was just there visiting for the weekend. Like, there were some Michigan State girls that were there, and I was at this random party. I didn't know anybody except for like, I think it was one other girl, and like I knew like Sheldon and all of them. And it was, should I call him out?
Oh yeah,
Devin was like, he was like, I don't see, like, I've never seen you around here. Like, let's take a shot together. And I was like, work. And I saw Isaac out of the corner. I was like, oh, he's cute. I was like, oh, like, I'll do it if he takes a shot. And you didn't drink at all.
I mean, I did, but I wasn't coming shots.
Okay. So I was like, oh, you should, like, I was like, oh, take a shot with me. And he was like, no. But he was like, I'll have a beer with you. And that was kind of the start of our love story. We had a nice little beer and talked all night. And then the next night we went out on a date. Went and got coffee at Starbucks.
Bro, we were straight puppy love. We were dating like 3 weeks later, and then...
Dang.
You know...
I didn't find that in college.
I mean, boys got lucky.
Yeah.
But, yeah, bros...
Gotta go to Michigan State to find the love.
I've been to Michigan State, and...
that could mean a lot of different things.
No, it was fun, really fun, but it wasn't love. Wasn't love there.
Yeah, but it was. Yeah, I mean, it was kind of random.
It started our long distance journey, which everyone says hours. Like, yeah, it was 2.5 hours. So like long distance, give or take. We didn't have to get on a plane, but I mean, I tell people all the time, I loved doing long distance, quote unquote, in college because it gave me the opportunity and like my friends to go and hang out with different college guys, like a group of guys that like their sole intention is just to like hang out, have fun. Like, you know, those Notre Dame guys.
A good Notre Dame guy, yeah, of course.
And
try to tell people about him.
It also gave Isaac the same opportunity, and it also allowed me to like hang out with my friends without my boyfriend around. And I think that's really rare in college. Sometimes your personality can become like who you're dating. So I was grateful I had like a difference up until Isaac got drafted, and then he left me for California.
Not by choice.
Yeah.
I actually probably would have chose to go to California.
Yeah, you probably would have.
But yeah, things move fast for us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they moved fast, and then you got drafted, and I mean, we were still together, all of that, and then the first year, it just like got really hard. I feel like it was a huge transition period for him, just like real life. I mean, you go from college and like living the dream. Boys are paying
bills.
Yeah, to like, oh shoot, I'm paying this California rent, and oh, I just got cut. Now I'm on practice squad. So.
Yeah, the first year was. Mm-hmm. I was getting.
Yeah, talk about the draft, because it was like you went 7th round. When you get to those later rounds, like for me, we were together. I went undrafted, but we were. It just like stopped looking at it. If the phone rang, the phone rang. But talk about that to where, I don't know your projection. Were you projected to go?
So I was like, I mean, bro, you were playing, so you know, like, preseason, senior year, 2016-17 season, I was projected like second round, and then we were just trash.
Yeah.
And like we played horrible. Like me, Cole, all of us like played horrible our senior year too. And like
it was low key we didn't win any games, but it was a fun year.
I mean, boys were just out there.
It got to a point to where this is probably bad, and like fans don't want to hear this, but it got to a point to where it was just like, this is the first time, like once we knew we weren't making a bowl game, it was just like, let's just finish the season out. We get or people coming back, we get a long break.
Yeah,
never had it before. And so like we were like excited, like sucked we lost, but like it came to a point where you had to accept it. And then like once we accepted it, it was just like, all right, we're just gonna finish this year out, and then we're gonna get the longest Christmas break we've ever had.
Hanging out.
Yeah, just kicking it.
So it was like, so I had like a decent little projection, but like y'all were saying that, I was like, I'm going to train. Bro, I went to go train. I took my last final exam, like, I think like December 13th, and I was like training like by the 15th, 16th. Like I went and immediately started. And, you know, from the time that my senior season started and I was a second round projection, like I dropped all the way to a 7th round. And I like really thought I wasn't going to go 7th round. Like I thought I was going to go earlier, even the day of, and then went 7th round. And, you know, it was like me watching it was like nails on a chalkboard. Like he's just like looking at his phone all the time. And then I think around like 5th, maybe like middle of 5th round, he was like, okay, like let's get out of here. And we just kind of got food. And then you got a call while we were getting food. These teams were tripping. One team texted me in the 4th round and they were like, the Ravens, they were like, you're going to be the next great Raven. So I'm like, I'm the next great Raven. Like
the next Raven's
like,
pick
you mean like
be
the
me?
next, like that next? They didn't draft me. So I'm like, whatever, forget the Ravens. I was frustrated. And then the Bears had traded for Trubisky. Mm-hmm. So they gave up their 6th and 7th round picks, but one of their coaches called me in the 5th round. So I'm like, oh, bet, I'm out here, 5th round. Like, what's up? And he was like, we were going to take you, but like now we can't because we already traded for Trubisky. So like, then
so they called him and the draft is still going on. They're like, hey, we wish we could take you. And I was like, oh my God, like it's the Bears, like so excited.
Then
I feel like at that point, don't call me to tell me that you're not gonna, that you wish you could take me, but you're not gonna take me.
Bro, it's crazy. And like people don't know this, but once you get to later rounds, teams start calling you and saying like, hey, if you don't get drafted, we'd love to sign you.
Right.
Yeah.
So then you're getting calls and you're like, I don't even know like if they want me or like what this is. And then the Chargers finally drafted me.
we were leaving like the place we were watching the draft at, and everyone was like on their way out. We already had a reservation. I don't know if I'm going to say the team that you were going to sign with, but he was going to go like undrafted and like he had already like paperwork was being done, whatever. And so we were about to go over to this restaurant and his manager runs out and was like, oh my God, like he's on the phone. And I was like so confused. I was like, is the draft still going? Like, I don't know. And I ran in there and he's so excited. And I'm like, what team are you going to? Like nobody was in the room when you got the call, right?
No, I was leaving. And then, when I came back in, it was just like a few people.
Yeah.
And then we just got lit because then we were like, whatever.
At that point, it's just like now it's,
Well, and that was, I mean, James was in the same city, so we all went out and James signed with the Chargers too, so it was a nice little night.
Yeah, that's crazy. Happened fast.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Talk about the Chargers, and I saw your high school team was the Chargers, right?
Yeah.
Talk about that. Just
a little research.
Growing up on I looked up the Chargers did fun facts on you.
Oh yeah, I did.
So
this
I just
my first
took
interview.
some of those fun facts for you, like you growing up on a farm, which is crazy.
You didn't know that?
Not really.
Yeah, big farm life.
Yeah, like
first
cows in the back.
To Georgia,
he taught me how to drive a tractor.
You said it was
that was the first date.
No, the first time I went home to his family house.
Like, hey, we've been dating a year. Come to where I'm from.
It was more like 3 months, but yeah. And he taught me how to drive a tractor. And he was like, "Oh yeah, here's where the goats and pigs used to be." And I was like, "What?"
Yeah, bro.
Like I'm from the suburbs of Michigan. Like, what do you mean the goats and pigs?
Yeah, but I definitely grew up in like town of 20,000, just southern. I mean, country.
Yeah, but give McDonough a little bit more credit. There's like, you literally drive 10 minutes down the road and there's like shopping malls and.
Henry County, the county that McDonough's in, at one point was the fastest growing county in the country.
Yeah, so I got a bunch of guys from Atlanta, or not Atlanta, but Georgia. Chubbs from there, Watson.
Oh, for sure.
Did you play any of them in high school?
No, because my school, I graduated with 67 people. Like
67.
67. Bro, I was
How
in
did
high
Notre
school.
Dame find you?
Scott Booker. That boy Book came down and recruited me. No, but I went to the high school where like I was like class president, homecoming king, like everything. Just because.
Well, y'all won states, right?
Yeah, we won the state championship my senior year. It was just like classic. What you think a small southern school would be, that's what we were.
Yeah, that doesn't sound too fun. We went to a powerhouse in little old Cleveland, Ohio.
I mean, were y'all winning state championships?
We did.
Oh, wow. I would say Ohio, she didn't know this. Ohio high school football is like top 5.
You got to come to I'll bring you to a Neds game. Or that's where I went to St. Ed's, but...
Wait, is that?
No.
No, that's Ignatius, St. Ignatius.
That's our rival. So that's the one, like, I don't know where you stay, but that's the one, like, by West 25th.
Yeah, it's near us.
Yeah.
And I would definitely go to the game.
Yeah, it's some good ball out here.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, we walked by these kids practicing, and Isaac was like, hold on, I just want to watch for a little bit. And I was like, what?
She doesn't get it. Like, a part of me, like, woke up when I saw them boys out there sweating.
He's like, oh, I need to be a high school football coach
High school
one day.
football is crazy. Camp, like, high school camp is, you think it's hard, and then you get to college, and then that's a whole different ball game, and then the NFL.
NFL is just stressful. It's not even harder than college.
That's what it is. It is. I think it's a lot, like, taxing wise on the body, it may be easier, but the stress added to it is OD.
Well, because what school did y'all go to when you were at Notre Dame? You guys were.
Oh, that was different. Culver.
Yeah,
Well, you didn't go to Shiloh. It was worse before Culver. Like, it gets worse than Culver.
I felt like y'all were going to like summer camp or something.
We don't even get into it. I don't know what we were doing.
It's funny.
I got 5 topics. This is something new I'm doing. I got 5 topics, and I want you to say the first thing that comes to your mind.
I feel like you'll be good at this.
It's different. I got 5 for you and 5 for you.
Okay.
But you can. I mean, if you want to chime in on it, you can.
Maybe.
So, first one is just Browns.
I think of myself. Shout out.
I was gonna say fans.
I have some pride. Like, okay, fans. I didn't know what to say.
Don't take mine. That's easy.
Okay.
BVG.
What are you doing? You don't even know who BVG is.
No, I know who that is.
That was our defensive coordinator at Notre Dame, but like very funny.
Bro, I bet everybody who played in his defense will go, "What are you doing?"
I was talking to Brady Quinn, and he said he knew BVG because when they did the Irish the Legacy Camp, BVG was the D coordinator and Brady Quinn was there, and he was sending the guys on like blitzes and everything at him because he was just like a step in because they were like, yo, just throw a pass one time. And so they had a defense and BVG blitzed them.
Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, like, it was like...
This is not that serious. Like, play base, whatever.
Pass rush.
Bull rush.
I was hoping you were gonna say like the TikTok stuff. Because I feel like you kind of blew up.
I did.
That's when I started to pay attention to your TikToks. Was like Julian Aquar used to send them to me, and I'm not gonna lie, we used to laugh at you.
I already know.
Used to be like, what is he doing? But you would just do the pass rush moves like on her and everything.
I did, yeah, that did kind of. Well, that went on like Sports Center, like they put that on like a bunch of different stuff.
Yeah, when you were like pass rushing, like we were shopping for a Christmas tree, and you were like pass rushing our Christmas tree. Yeah, those videos.
Allison,
wife. It's kind of makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Kanye.
I think of Homecoming, the song.
I saw you was like your favorite or whatever.
Yeah, Kanye, absolutely.
Both of you got the Yeezys. I also saw you had the Yeezys on at the little country concert.
Yeah.
Would you ever go back to one of those?
For sure. I made that. That was like a super, I know people will react to this, but I low-key like country.
I mean, you
concert.
grew up in the country, so.
True.
Yeah, it's in me.
And then last one, firefighters.
Firefighters?
Yeah.
I think of that frame.
Yeah, bro, so this firefighter made a frame. He took fire hoses.
It's a flag in a frame, but
it's a flag, but he made a flag out of fire hoses, and it's huge. And I'm like, this is probably like, I don't know how expensive this is, but
I mean, it's incredible.
I have so many firefighter tees, but I don't really have a great answer. So I just think of the firefighter community.
What made you get like into that? Like, what made you start like reaching out to them, or just even starting that like trend of like, yo, send me shirts, I want to like rep your, you know.
Yeah, it was random. In 2018, after the Steelers game, a fan just gave me a shirt and was like, yo, like, take this shirt. I didn't know what it was. It was a firefighter tee. And I've had it for 4 years. I wear it all the time. Mm-hmm. So I just was like, I don't have any content to do today. And I was like, I had this shirt on. I should tell the story of why I always wear this shirt. And then that kind of just turned into, like, me getting I have so many packages even now that I haven't opened. These firefighters, like, I gave the facility address out because I'm like, I don't care. Y'all can't show up here. There's security. And these people just are sending me stuff left and right, firefighter tees. And it's pretty cool. Like, the firefighter community is cool. And, you know, like, one of the biggest things is these people really are, like, fighting fires and, like, saving people's lives.
First responders, yeah.
You know, like, they're actually, like, putting their lives on the line every day.
Yeah, the firefighter community is really cool.
Yeah, they're ride or die.
Mm-hmm.
5 for you. I got 4 for you because we kind of already talked about Cleveland.
It's okay.
You know,
Oh,
so, but the first one, Gus and Frankie.
Babies. Oh my God, they're my children. Everyone's like, oh, like, are you guys ready for kids? And I'm like, I already have kids. Like, love my dogs.
We're basic. We're on TikTok. We've got golden retrievers. We need to figure it out.
Wedding proposal.
I think of the Chargers. They kind of set all that up, and they helped a lot. They also, like, conned me into thinking that, not conned in a bad way, but, like, conned me into thinking I was doing something totally different. Like, I had, like, full control over what we were doing. Little did I know, like, I was just making the right decisions, but they were, like, persuading me into doing that. That was such a cool experience. And having, like, Drew and Jackie there.
I thought Drew set that up because I saw Drew. I mean, Drew has a podcast. I don't know if he had it back then, but
No, he was just we had to have somebody on it, and I was just like, I feel like we go way back with Drew, so might as well have him on it. Mm-hmm. No, but your boy set that up. That was me.
That was you?
I was steady grinding behind the scenes.
Isaac.
Husband.
We're
That's so lame.
basic.
Yeah, you two are lame.
Yeah,
I
we need to
also
stop.
thought
We need to
of,
stop.
like, just football. I mean, it's your job, so.
Yeah, I guess you've never known me not as a football player.
Oh, wow, I guess I haven't.
Well, that's probably a lot of people, though. That's me.
I mean, yeah. but I guess, yeah, I mean, you're right.
TikTok.
First thing that came to mind was, like, passion, job. I love TikTok. And I like the platform it's given me. I like that I can share my life with people. I like that I have a community behind me. And all of these other communities I feel like I'm a part of as well. And now I feel like I also have friends through TikTok.
What would you say to someone who's, like, trying to grow on TikTok, or, like, I guess the best way to grow is, like, is it finding a niche, being authentic? What would it be?
Everyone has these, like, oh, here's the formula to, like, grow on TikTok. I think talk about what you like, talk about it a lot, and don't be afraid of what other people are going to say and what their opinions are. Because if I would have been afraid of other people, like, talking to Isaac in the locker room, like, you got guys talking to you all the time about, like, oh yeah, I saw your wife's video, and they would laugh about it. But, like, now look at, like, where my platform is at. So I would say just go all in, like, just be obsessed with it. I feel like the people that are obsessed with, like, what they're doing, it's going to be successful. I mean, look at football.
Yeah, I mean, literally, it's the same thing.
What are some places that you guys have tried and I guess would like to try? Like, what are your favorite, like, dishes and stuff? And we could give you some suggestions.
Well, I'll say, like, favorite place I've been to, and I mean, I feel like this is just a Cleveland thing. It's the Marble Room. But
oh, yeah,
I mean, the
Room
food is
crazy.
always on point, but also they showed us, like, the vaults downstairs, and I thought that was so cool. And then hearing even, like, the history of, like, different vaults in different places of the cities, I thought that was super cool.
We've been fortunate, before I give my places, like, we go to these places and somebody on the staff luckily will be like, oh, like a young girl will be like, oh my God, are you Allie? And then it, like, opens the door for us to be able to, like, talk to management, and they'll be like, oh, let's show you around. Always super nice. And so that happened to us at Marble Room, and now we know the management, and, like, they're super cool. And so it kind of changes the experience. But during OTAs, I explored restaurants. Going to Ginkgo tonight, fired up about that. Place is unbelievable. And then there's a place, I don't know how to pronounce it because it's a, like, Asian name. It's like a ramen place, like XIJING or something, noodle. Place is crazy good.
Maybe you should learn how to pronounce it.
Yeah,
That's disrespectful. I probably spelled it wrong too. But that place is super good. And then I feel like there's just like random.
You tried Chula, right?
That's the
Indian spot. Yeah,
That
There's
place is
randomly really good pho here.
The pho scene is randomly on
Why
point.
did you say, like, pho?
You got to emphasize the pH. I'm trying to think other places. Oh, bro, randomly the barbecue like scene is decent. Not these basic places that you see, but there's this place. I gotta look up the name. I think it's called BB's Barbecue. Bro, there's like this old dude like sweating in there.
That's the best food.
Bro, I was like, ain't no way this place is serving food, and he just pulled out some ribs and went crazy, but I'm disrespecting their name too.
Yeah, I feel like I really haven't gotten into the food scene a whole lot because Isaac's been gone during camp. But I feel like once like the actual season starts, it'll be fun to explore. We started doing this thing just when we started moving to all these new cities. Every Thursday we'll have like a date night and we'll go to a new spot that neither of us have been to. Tonight's the only time we really are going to like a spot he has been to, but I just haven't. But it's cool to be able to try out different. I mean, Cleveland has an amazing food scene.
Sneaky.
I did not know that. Yeah, because every meal I've eaten here has been really good. But I'm excited to try out more.
Yeah.
Do you like going places and like, because probably with other couples it's flipped. Like people recognize you're an NFL football player, and then you go places they recognize her. I remember we went to the Notre Dame game.
It's crazy.
And we were tailgating, and she had like hundreds of girls run up to her, like knowing who she is. Even guys, they were like, oh, they were pointing at her and everything. Man. And then you might have had like 10.
You know, like maybe one.
Yeah.
No, I love it, honestly. I mean, it's just like anything, like just like her coming to my football games and being hype. Like I have like genuine excitement when people come up to her. It's cool.
Yeah.
And you handle it well. Like, you know, some people don't handle that well, but you actually really engage with these people.
But it's also like that community I talk about, like that's also whenever I go to a new city or even like the Notre Dame football game, it's like I feel like I know that community. So when people come up to me, it's like, oh, I see their nice comments and like welcoming me to a city or to a game or whatever. And so it's nice to be able to meet these people in person. They're like, oh, like try out this restaurant. But my favorite line that they always say is, oh my God, I like you so much more than your NFL husband. And I think it's hilarious.
Bro, you don't know how many people, and again, I love it. Honestly, I love it because I'm happy for her. But bro, people will come up to us and like I'll like start talking. They're like, no, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to her. And I'm like, because it's like part of the narrative, like that the football player doesn't matter. It's super funny though. I'm like, like low-key disrespectful, but I'll rock with it.
I love it. But it's also fun to be able to joke around with them as well. It's like,
no, I mean, these girls take so much pride in being like, you're done.
Yeah, they put you in your place. Like you should be.
It's funny. No, I love it.
So you got 2 more preseason games left?
One more. We got one in 2 days, and then
Saturday night game.
They're cutting half of the team.
Wait,
always
I thought it was 4. It's not 4 anymore?
No, it's 3.
Oh.
Wait, was it 4 when you went through preseason?
I don't know. It's 3?
Yeah.
Okay. Makes sense. So
which
the last
4
one
is too many. Yeah, last one, and then of course cut day, which is always trash for everybody, and then
to be determined.
Starts.
Who on the team that throughout this camp that has impressed you or that you're excited to see this season?
Yeah, I mean, first off, I think like the quarterback situation with everything going on, I'm excited to see all our quarterbacks play because I think at some point like a lot of our quarterbacks will play. But then also the D-line, like the D-line, it's been crazy. Like we have so many good defensive ends, and I'm excited to see guys produce. It's been cool in the preseason already seeing them produce, but it'll be interesting. Obviously, you see how it shakes out with who makes the team and whatnot. But then once we get into it, like I'm excited to see Miles and JD play because we haven't really seen them play. And then obviously like backups, all of us to be able to play. It's gonna be cool.
Did you play the Browns last year? The Colts?
No, I played the Browns. I played the Browns twice in my career.
He was talking about it on the way over here too.
One time I was on practice squad, and then the second time I had 2.5 sacks versus the Browns, but one got taken away. So it's like my positive energy when I go in that stadium. I'm like,
it was at first.
It was here. I was going crazy. It was like one of those games where you're in your head and you're like, I can't be stopped, whatever. So I like feel like, you know, the energy in the stadium is on point.
Isaac's a very ritual, routine, visualization type of dude. Like,
but
you talk about routine. Yeah, she's been talking about routine. What is your routine?
I just I'm like big. I'm just like, I need a good week of practice.
Hit a noise machine the night before. If he's sweating in the middle of the night, it's going to be a horrible next day. Like
now we're getting into specifics.
It needs to be super air conditioned. Go ahead.
To sleep, yes. But no, I just need a good week of practice, and I need the mental energy to be on point. Because you know how it is when you're like a professional athlete. If something's off mentally, like, or you have a distraction, or like you feel like you didn't check a box during the week physically or something, it will spill over into the game. I just
feel like
believe
even
that,
like stretching and stuff, like you're always on point, so that on game day you're like, okay, I know I did everything possible.
It's as little as like you forget one thing, like a road trip or something. You forget one thing, and it's just like, damn, like my whole game is ruined. I remember we were playing Georgia Tech maybe, and we played in Atlanta, and I usually do go through like a whole like morning routine where I call someone, and like we go through over like breathing, like the whole like mental prep situation.
Yeah, you're
like,
locked in. You got the whole setup.
It was Angie. You know Angie, right?
Oh yeah, the massage person.
She's not.
She does like
more than massage. She'll get mad at me if I just say she's just a masseuse, but like no, it's.
But what is it called? It's like the trigger points.
It's RPR.
Yeah.
Amazing, Angie in Cleveland.
She is good.
Reach out, she'll get you right. But I used to call her, like we used to FaceTime like pregame and everything. But like we used to do it to a point where it's like I knew I had enough time, and then like I'll get dressed and get ready. But there was one time before I got on with her, the wrong person texted me and screwed my whole like screwed me up, and like I was just like, why did you text me, like why, like random? And it was just, and then so like I went into my call with her, and then like 30 minutes into it, she was just like, are you good? And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. I was like, yeah, I'm fine. And then like after that, and then she's just like new, and I was just like, we went and played the game, and I had a decent game, and we ended up winning, but I was just like, damn. Like she called me like the next day and was like, were you actually okay? And I was like, nah, I was
like, I was down bad actually.
Yeah. That's funny. It's interesting to hear that, because I'm like, at this point, I'm like, okay, boy, you've been playing 5 years. If you do something that pisses me off, I'm gonna say it. I don't care if it's an hour before the game. Like you're gonna hear.
You wouldn't come at me an hour before the game.
Okay, no, but like the night before.
But I will say
that's enough time though.
I know you can recover.
Yeah. No, you're in the danger zone. The night before, I'm in the danger zone. Like it's not whatever. It's all good. Yeah. But I will say, like the longer I play, like it's like year 6. I like now I'm like, okay, if something is off, like boy, I've been doing this long enough. This is not catastrophic, because like year 1 through 5,
it was catastrophic.
It's like anything is catastrophic. But now it's like, all right, I can stop at the house before the game if I need to, or it's like I don't have to be like dead set on the routine.
Even this Saturday, I'm like, oh, are you gonna stay at the hotel the whole day because it's a night game? And I'm like, well, your family's gonna be here, and I'm gonna be hosting them at our apartment. Like, do you want to come and like have all the energy? I feel like that's gonna tire you out. Like now I'm like anxious about it, and he's like, no, Allie, I'm gonna come home and hang out with the dogs.
Like, no,
and I'm like, no, you shouldn't come. It's funny.
We were talking about you gotta like actually plan out your. Now we're getting into your routine. You got to plan out like your content and like what you're gonna do. Yeah. What does your routine look like as far as like making content?
I mean, as it pertains to like games or like.
No, just like your job.
Well, it's funny because it's every day. Like I try and post at least 3 videos a day just because I like to like always be on there, always like be updating people on like life and just whatever. Honestly, wake up in the morning. Tire out the dogs. That's my first concern, is like taking them for like a 3-mile walk because they're golden retrievers and they need that. And then working out and literally getting straight into work. And sometimes it's scrolling for an hour, just jotting down ideas. Sometimes it's like calling management. Sometimes it's filming ads. And yeah, sometimes I'll get home and he's like, okay, like let's hang out, let's chill, let's watch a movie. Last night I literally worked from like the time I sat down in the morning until he got home, and like literally looked up at 10 p.m. and I was like, oh shoot, like I literally have not relaxed all day. But it's not really work when you like it. Sometimes it feels like work.
I think when you have to do ads, sometimes you have to think of specific content.
Is terrible.
Well, and I always want it to feel super genuine to me, so I take it very like heavy. I don't want it to be like, oh, hey, like, here's this gum. Like, I love this gum. So I try and think of funny ideas. So even thinking of funny ideas stresses me out because I'm like, oh, I just want it to be funny. I want it to do well. I don't want to let the company down. I want other people to, like, find it funny. So.
Yeah, it does throw a wrench in it. But you're really good at ads. And now she's gotten to the point where, like, companies will come to her and say, like, we'll give you creative freedom. Which that's like that happy place as a creator where they're like, we're paying you and we're letting you decide on what the ad is, and that's chill.
Because sometimes they'll give you like a 5-page brief, and I'll be like, I don't know if I can do that. Like, I don't think it makes sense for me.
You're also dealing sometimes with like social media managers who, like, if they were doing full-time TikTok, they wouldn't be good at it because they don't understand TikTok, and they're like telling you guidelines and stipulations.
Ad deals are about to go down.
Well, they're telling you stuff, guidelines. I'm like, I don't care, but it's not though. But they're giving you guidelines that like don't make sense given the TikTok community and what people engage with. And so that's where it can become challenging, where it's like, you don't, like, I'm better at this than you are, and you're telling me how to do it.
It's also like I don't know if you guys will find this interesting, but like if I have lotion and I'm sitting there telling you all the benefits of this lotion, or if I'm doing a TikTok of like a day in my life game day vlog and I use the lotion, people are more apt to buy the lotion if you just show it organically. And I think companies are starting to catch on, and that's why creative freedom comes in, where I can talk about a product and make it very like personal to me, or I can do a brief and people are gonna like, yeah, scroll. Like, I don't care.
Yeah, because people know ads.
Mm-hmm. But now to this point, I feel like I can choose what ads I take, and like I have to like the company and the product, obviously. But now I also am like, okay, I want creative freedom, because if it doesn't align with me, it's not worth it. It does suck saying no to like money when they put it in your face, but what are you gonna do?
It's kind of like Flow. He used to be at Progressive. We had a buddy, but he basically created the character Flo from Progressive.
Oh, the redheaded.
Yeah, well, she like changes. She like changed costume. Well, she's might be always black hair, but just like her like whole vibe is just always like organic. Even though it's like a progressive, like when you watch it, you don't even think like, yo, this is an insurance commercial. But she's just like,
that's true.
You know what I mean?
So, yeah.
And that's a good ad.
Yes, it's amazing.
I think we're going to see a huge shift in the next few years of being a lot more organic and less produced. I think there's still always going to be like a level of production, especially commercials and like stuff like that. But I think people are going to become a little bit more organic, because I mean, the consumer is not polished like these commercials. Like,
well, I think based on like, if you looked at like marketing data, which I'm definitely not a data expert, I think there's like like if somebody sees a product so many times, naturally it'll sell. So I think sometimes companies are like, I don't really care as long as people are seeing the product, that matters. And then some people are like, we want like quality ad content. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Do you have any?
You guys like let the numbers of a video affect you?
I didn't hear the question.
He was saying,
Like the outcome of a video.
Oh, I be ready to delete shit. Like it's like, so looking at videos, like how do you two not let the numbers affect you? Because like I'm new on TikTok, and like I was lucky to get like 300,000 views on one video, and then the next one got like 200,000. And then the next
like,
video,
I'm out here.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, I'm good. Like
this.
I need at least 100,000 like every time. So then the next one got like 67 views, and I was like, yo,
you're like, yo.
I'm like this. I'm done with that.
We're not even coming triple digits.
I'm back done with that. But how do you guys like manage that?
Do you want to start?
But it's funny because I literally last night I go back and forth with it. At different points in like my career, I feel like there's some points where I'm like, oh, I don't care as long as like I'm being authentic and I think it's funny and I like this idea, it's whatever. But TikTok's algorithm is insane. It's unlike any other platform, and it's like a For You page, so you're always like in front of new eyes. And last night I was like, my videos have never done this bad. I was like, should I delete this other one? Because like sometimes, like, you've heard of shadow banned, so like sometimes I get nervous. I'm like, oh, Isaac posted a video and he said the word cut in it. Like I got cut from a team. But TikTok is so like worried about like like violence and stuff like that. So
yeah.
they'll make it so that your video doesn't hit the For You page. So then I start to go, literally last night, I was like, people don't find me funny anymore. Like, like typical imposter syndrome. And then I just wake up and I'm like, wow, I was super dramatic last night. But I started a spam account, like a separate TikTok account. I don't promote it or anything. And that page has like made me care less about views because I'm like, I'm sharing like what I like and like my life. It's definitely more authentic. I'll pull it up whenever I'm like, oh, I have a funny thing I want to say, but I don't want to like produce it and like put it on my main account.
We're also acting like her spam account's got like 30,000 followers. Like, just like, I'm like, wow.
But yeah, views are going to affect any creator because it's like, oh shoot, like what am I doing wrong? Do people not like me anymore?
It's like your metric for success.
Yeah, it is. Like, yeah, because you don't have a boss telling you like, oh, good job. But
you look into it a little bit more. I'm like, yo, I'm not supposed to be good at this anyway. So if a video doesn't do good, I'm like, sometimes I'll say the same thing. Like, is this like an issue with TikTok? But I'm like, I don't really care. But
I guess because it's like you have football, so that's like you get praised for football. But like I sit at home all day and I'm working my ass off on this and like trying to make, like at the end of the day, I just want people to watch my content and be like, oh my God, that was so funny. And like
to appreciate it.
Yeah, to appreciate it. And also like to make somebody's day a little bit lighter, to take them out of like what they're going through in their life. And even like give an insight as to what I'm going through so people can be like, oh, like some people feel that same way. So I feel like that's like it's the way that I view myself sometimes too, which can be good and bad.
Also, you have to realize like companies are paying money based on analytics. So like how your videos perform, like it's like football, like your performance matters. So from that perspective, it's like it can become a little bit more stressful is not the word, but you can just have like be more aware of like your views and stuff because you know you're going to be sending those analytics to companies.
That doesn't affect me at all.
I'm just saying. Like,
no, I don't care. Well, I'm just like, if a company doesn't want to pay it, like that's fine. Like I'm still it would still stress me out. Because I'm like, I just want people to think it's fun and like get a kick out of it.
That's fair.
You know, you talk about, someone in the room mentioned, what is it, shadow ban or accounts being taken away. So how do you like stay away from that? And like, how do you like, toe the line to where it's like you don't ever, that doesn't ever happen to you?
Some of it
What?
Well, I was like, you can't, like literally right now, if I pull up my account, because I'm like, I got a notification that was like, you have one more time and then you're going to get, like, see how it says account warning?
Oh, wow. I didn't know they gave you a warning.
It's crazy though. TikTok's so unpredictable. Like,
is that for what you said?
I put up a video about the USC stuff that I've been getting, and they said that I was like soliciting like goods that were, I don't even know.
Yeah, like illegal goods or something like that.
Yeah. So then like
I'm like, yeah, USC stuff is illegal in this household.
But see, like we have resources within TikTok. Like I can email people and like be like, hey, what's the deal with this? But like if you didn't know, like low-key, you could just post another video that they're like, hey, this is like not within our guidelines, and you would literally be banned.
TikTok,
it's
like,
sketchy.
I have a love-hate relationship with it where I just don't feel like they have, like sometimes with any social media, it's like, do they even appreciate their creators? Because if something was happening with my account where it was like, oh, your account's going to be canceled tomorrow, if I didn't have him, I wouldn't have anybody I could connect or talk to. Like I have my management team and they could do their best, but it's hard. And I've heard of people getting their accounts taken away at like 3 million. And I mean, that's somebody's job.
That's your income just deleted.
One of my friends, it is crazy. One of my friends, she always posts in a bathing suit, and they always talk about how she's an underage, like giving off like PORN. And she's like, y'all, like I'm literally 25, like I'm just in a bathing suit. So like, if you can't post in a bathing suit, or like I wouldn't. One time I got a video taken down because I was cutting a piece of fruit, and like I appealed it. You know what video I'm talking about?
Piece of fruit.
Yeah, but you have to be super cautious about it, and even like your verbiage, like saying things that might be like violent, like, oh, hand me the knife, like don't say that, or oh, you're like, boy, you got cut your first year in the NFL, like don't say that. You have to be very like cautious and like tiptoe around it, but
They don't have a great system for it because it's all based like it's just artificial intelligence, like watching a video saying, "Oh, this is sketchy. This is sketchy." So there's not like a great system for it.
Remember that video in Arizona? My account did get shadow banned, like meaning that it like all of your likes are only from people that follow you, and like you don't get any new followers. And I was so confused. So we connected with his contact at TikTok, and I had a video that was flagged, and it was a video where somebody commented and said Isaac looked like Ed Sheeran, and I posted the video and I thought it was hilarious, and I was just laughing in the video, and then that was
she
it.
like responded to it.
Yeah, and so like that video like flagged my entire account. So I was like, they are just like
they're out here freestyling.
It is crazy. I do feel like it's like not robots, but it's like the platform, the algorithm, like they're taking those videos down or like suppressing them. But I don't know. They need to have a better contact because it sucks. It doesn't make you feel like you're supported as a creator, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, all I know is make sure you follow the Varsity House Podcast TikTok account.
You have to send us some clips.
Yeah,
Of course,
I'll put some up for
that's
sure.
what we're gonna do. I was planning like everything that you would make a TikTok about. I'll just send you this, and
Yeah.
you already got it. You don't
Easy
even.
money.
You don't even. I'm taking it. You guys can get a day off of recording.
I just come up with a
Because I'll
caption.
just send you some content, and now you both will be good. There was like one more thing I wanted to ask though.
You need to make some merch that's like a Letterman jacket. I feel like that would be sick, like Varsity
That
House.
shirt's actually pretty cool.
Whoa.
Oh, tell me you're coming with the 2X.
I do have one.
Let's go.
Need my nails done. My God, so nasty.
Oh. So
You're like,
I got you.
I was unpacking with my nails and they
figured
just
you
started
were.
falling off. I'm like, just take them off.
I figured you were a large.
Yeah.
Does that work?
Yeah, I'm
we'll
not a
show it,
large,
we'll show
but
it.
it's okay. No, I if I was wearing a shirt like this, it would be a large, yeah.
Perfect. And then we got you the 2X. I got you an orange one. So since we did want some with
I
the
like the
browns,
orange one.
Ooh.
I came up with orange. And this is yours. So
Thank
yeah,
you.
just maybe like even just one day, you know, some Sunday,
Should just
the
plug me.
rest of this, you know, fall, just maybe wear it to the game, you know.
Should I wear it this week? I'll wear it this week.
Are you home?
And you got the comfort colors?
Yeah, you're home.
Yeah. Those are exclusive ones. Those aren't for sale. Those are just like
Oh,
to the people I rock with.
So you got what's the one you sell? You got the Gildan? Nice. I'm gonna act like it's not a comfort color.
I don't think people, they might actually look at it, but
No, I'll rock this this Sunday. It's a nice pair of jeans.
do you with the Yeezys? Since you did a podcast with the Chargers, we should do one with the Browns, and this is just kind of me plugging myself with the Browns. But
He said whatever it takes. Here.
we could do one. You won't be in it. You could be in it if you want, but you're pretty
I
busy.
get it.
No,
I
you're
get
not.
it.
But yeah, we could do a Browns one.
That'd be sick.
You got the whole production.
We do. My boy Scene in the back. We got Ibrahim with the Varsity House on Courtside Media. Go follow it. We got Michaela over here. She jack of all trades. I don't know. I don't even know how to describe. And then Mary over here, content creator, future $1 million follower, or not $1 million follower, but million
Million
followers.
followers.
All the above.
All the above.